Will it be another Protoss or a Zerg? As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss, we have the South Korean Protoss. Representing Protoss Pro, it is Classic. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player himself, it is SHIN. And welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Aggression is favored here, and I would not be surprised if we do see SHIN go for something more assertive. Likewise, Classic could as well. So eyes are on Classic, eyes are on SHIN. We'll see if SHIN goes for an earlier Roach Warren. We'll see if he goes for an earlier timing attack. Likewise, we'll see if Classic goes for an earlier Twilight Council. Oh boy. Again, rush distance by ground is quite short. The third base is quite accessible. The area here outside of the natural is also very accessible as well. We have seen a lot of German taxis, for example, which is a Roach Queen drop load all in. So we'll see. Protoss. True. PvP imba, baby, imba. True. But yeah, that last game just came down to one big engage. PvP unwinnable. Ah. Not wrong. So far we have our standard openers that the probe does move out across the map, and again, we'll keep an eye on the gases, we'll keep an eye on the tech. Let's go. SHIN did show off some quirkier builds previously, but again, he was doing a lot of that against Percival. It was actually Creator who was being more dynamic against SHIN in their first matchup, with Creator going for the Robo Opener into Soul Train, 2-base all in. We saw Creator going into and committing into Glaive Adepts. We saw one standard game out of Creator in Game 3. Where if you remember, Creator, he went for a standard opener, Stargate into triple Oracle into a third, into double Robo, double Colossus production. He was able to snowball out of control with a heavy Robo composition in the mid game. And SHIN did struggle. Curious if Classic was watching. If he was watching those matches. And we'll see. Classic does poke in. Pokes in, again did go for the Stargate opener, is going for the Oracle, not Void Ray. And the Overlord of that SHIN should be able to confirm. So the Overlord is getting in position. Position here as we do see Classic shade into the mineral line. 2 Adepts taking one-shot drones. SHIN does pull away in time. And SHIN, he may lose one. Oh, does lose one. One drone goes down for 2 Adepts. A better trade for SHIN. So SHIN, he defends well. The Oracle is on the way. We have 2 Queens here at the natural. We have a Spore on the way in the main. SHIN, for the most part, is ready. Because Classic lost both Adepts, that means his third base is exposed. But the Oracle's in position. If the Oracle had left, then these links could have forced a cancel. But the Oracle's in position. Classic defends. The downside is that Classic is not across the map killing drones. Right? He's not threatening the mineral lines. But now he's able to wait for his second Oracle. Now he can move out. And 2 Oracles, they can one-shot drones. They can one-shot. Meanwhile, we have a 4:13 minutes lair timing. Oh no! The Oracles are going over the Queens, taking a lot of hits. They do get 3 drones. 3 drones go down, but they do not scout the lair timing. Again, very fast lair. Now, we have seen fast lair into fast Hydras out of SHIN. True, we have seen him already showcase that previously in tonight's broadcast. So I'm leaning towards an early Hydra timing and a Hydra all-in without any Evo chambers. Is what I'm expecting, which we have seen before. If you remember, coming into Ruby Rock, we expected to see an all-in. And my eyes are still on Shin. Meanwhile, standard follow, we have the Evo Chain, sorry, we have the Forge, we have the Twilight Council, plus on and Blink. Standard follow-up out of Classic. Lair is done, and there it is. Yep, Fast Hydrogen. Fast Hydrogen, no Evo Chambers. Does look like a Ling Hydra all-in. The reasoning for that, so we explained this previously, but because there are no Evo Chambers, there are no upgrades. And it may be the case that Shin has no intention to get into any upgrades, as there's no intention for the game to last that long. As the Oracles, they try to poke in, they see no tech here at the natural. Yep, Shin is making Overlords, Mass Hydras on the way. Shin is cutting workers at 56. And if they don't get into the main, Shin, he's revealing nothing. And he's not even getting a fourth. Usually, I expect to see a fourth base just for Larva. The Oracles are denying mining. Oh, getting 6 drone kills. Aye. When you're going for an all-in like this, again, every drone counts. And he scouts, he sees. Yeah, he sees the Hydras. He's now aware of the Lair. He's now aware of the Hydras. Back at home, we need shield batteries. There's a lot of things that are being shaved off. There it is. Batteries now on the way. As we mentioned, he did a scout. He did confirm. You have 2 batteries at the 3rd base. And Shinny's coming. The all-in is upon us. Shin is rallying across the map. The wall's open. The wall's on a wall. Lings, they flood into the main. They flood into the main base. Classic out of position. The main army does hit the 3rd. Classic being pulled apart. Being pulled in between the bases. Oracles, they defend the main. Shield batteries are being denied. There's 1 battery left over. Hydra range is now done. And Shin, he might have enough here. It's still getting quite close. Charge is complete, actually. Oh, it's +1 in charge. Not Blink. Uh-oh. Yeah, it was not Blink. Zealous, they're going to completely shut this down. My apologies. I did actually overlook that, but it was Charge, not Blink. And with that, Classic holds. Yeah, Classic completely cleans this up here. Again, against Ling Hydra, Charge, they'll say, trades so efficiently. If there were Banelings or Roaches, different story. But Zealous, they completely shut this down. If this was against Blink Stalkers, then Shin would have had a much stronger position here. But there's no Blink, there's no Stalkers. And the all-in is failing. The all-in is failing. Shin, things are looking dire. As time goes on, it's getting worse and worse for Shin. Classic is working on +2. Classic is working on Storm. Remember, Shin doesn't even have a 4th base. Shin has a worse economy. He's down economically, even on bases, down in upgrades. Shin, he has no other option. It's all-in or all-in. Like, it's... And he's setting up. He's gearing up for round 2. He's gearing up for round 2. This creep is spreading. Storm is going to be ready. It's finishing up in 5 seconds. And all Classic needs is half-decent Storms. Oh god, they're pretty good. The Storms are pretty good, Pappy. Oh god. Yeah, the Ling Hydra's melting. Classic, he does hold. Oh god, another Storm lands. Yeah, Storms land. GG gets called, and Classic, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, Shin, he was blindly going for an all-in. He was going for a fast lair. It was, remember, it was a 4-13, or even earlier than that. We had an early lair timing into our gases, into only 3 bases, very low drone count as well, 53 drones, less than 3 base saturation, into purely Ling Hydra. And just to re-emphasize, the goal of this build is to catch a player playing standard. What is standard? Triple Oracle into a 3rd, into +1 Blink Stalker, right? Into +1 and Blink. And I would say that Shin did a great job at hiding his Hydras. Like, he only ever really showed Lings. It took Classic a long time to get into the main base to confirm what was going on. Unfortunately for Shin, Classic went into charge himself. He went into a charge-based composition, not a Blink Stalker-based composition, so he kind of had the ideal. He had the ideal army against what Shin had. GG. So GG, well played. With that, Classic was able to shut him down, and now we're going to be loading into game 2. Going to be loading into the Old Republic. Remember, this is the best of 3. Classic needs 1 more win here to advance on. Shin has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss leading the series 1-0 for Virtus Pro. It is a classic. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is SHIN. Here we go. SHIN is so dead in this one. Classic is so good at holding anything. Oh, as we mentioned, like, Classic didn't play standard, right? Classic, he blindly went into charge, which is ideal against SHIN's all-in. As I mentioned, if SHIN was going into Ling Bane, if SHIN was going into Roaches, then he'd be in a better position, but it was a Ling Hydra all-in, so Classic was able to hard counter. He was able to hard counter. And again, I do think that SHIN did a great job at hiding the build, but Classic, again, he was already going to charge anyway. And now we're getting into game 2. Welcome to a larger map. This is a much larger map, a longer rush distance by ground. There's a higher chance that we could see Muta play out of SHIN, or we could see something more macro-oriented. And I say more macro-oriented. Ideally, 3-base aggression is stronger on the Old Republic. Why is that? Because it's the 4th base that's exposed. Whether it's the linear 4th base or the triangular 4th base, these 4 bases are much more exposed, so I do expect to see SHIN drone up to 3-base saturation. If you're curious, that is 66 workers. So last game he droned up to 2.5 base, he droned up to 53. This time we're expecting at least 66 workers, at least a 4th base just for larva, and then we could see SHIN be aggressive. And try to break the 4th, even try to break the 3rd. But we'll see. Meanwhile, Classic can just play standard. He can we can just see Stargate opener. This pylon is an interestingly placed pylon. This could just still be for a Stargate. Very often we see pylons closer to the edge of the main, just so it takes less time for the Oracle to get across the map. To see it a little bit closer here between the bases might be indicative of something different, but that's still the Stargate. Interesting. It is still the Stargate. It is a little bit... It does stand out that the Stargate is placed where it is, and okay, he's rallied across the map. If you saw the initial rally, one of the things we could have seen here is that Classic makes an Oracle, and then he makes a second Oracle, and he banks them up back at home, and he makes it look like he's going for a Twilight Council opener instead. Then he hides the Oracles, and then bam, he surprises his opponent, who happens to have skipped their spores. But now, based on the re-rally, it looks like just standard opener, Oracle. But there are builds where you intentionally keep your Oracles at home. But it looks like that won't be the case here. As the Oracle's on the way, again, he's rallied across the map. SHIN, of course, is in the dark. He does have an Overlord attempting to get in position. Overlord moves out on the right-hand side. I just realized, is that an Ultraless skeleton? Is that like it? Okay. Okay. Meanwhile, Classic gets into the natural. Nevada he gets 1, he gets 2. Does he get 3? Ooh, 3 drones go down. A much better trade here for Classic compared to last game. Last game he got 1 drone. This time he gets 3. Classic taking his 3rd base. And so far, everything's just standard from our Protoss. Meanwhile, SHIN, early Evo Chamber. Okay, Evo Chamber first. This is an indication of a standard game. Evo Chamber into +1 melee into Ling and Bane Hydra. So far, that looks to be the case here. Oh. SHIN does main out over. Saturating his bases. Oh, there's no spore in position, so we do punish. 3 more drones go down. Oh, we do punish the punish, though, as he does pick off one of the Oracles. Yeah, SHIN is holding on, snipes one of the Oracles. The other does barely get away. So a bit of a back and forth trade here. Classic kills 5 drones, but for the cost of 1 Oracle. Meanwhile, we do have the 3rd Oracle arriving, and we have a 4th Oracle on the way. Again, Oracles have a lot of value here in this matchup. Lings, they counterattack, they hit the 3rd. Classic, he just shaded across the map. And that will cost Classic a pylon. But the Oracles, they race back home to defend. Classic is still pushing. Back at home, what is there here in the middle line? We have 3 queens, but the Lings are across the map. Classic, he has arrived. Shin, he's racing back home. Nice body blocking with the queens. Does body block. Zones away the Adepts. And even kills one. Again, very nice micro here by Shin. And once again, just like last game, charge instead of blink. Now, fun fact, this is becoming a little bit more trendy. If you remember, we casted Serral versus Hero last week in Thunderfire, in the Thunderfire tournament, the big event that happened in China. If you remember, what did Hero do? How did he beat Serral? Every game, charge. Every game he went charge, every game he did not go blink, and Serral had a really hard time adapting. So this is something that Hero has been very fond of, and so far Classic has done this twice in this series. So this, in my mind, this might be an indication I did mention previously of the meta shifting a little bit here. If Hero is doing nothing but this and beating Serral with this, we can see Classic doing something very similar as well. Veering away from blink openers and veering towards charge heavy play instead. So we have charge on the way. We have Archons amassing as well. No storm yet. But again, the heavier Zealot army is more ideal against Ling Hydra, getting into storm. Again, it all just kind of naturally flows together. And Classic is pushing. Now, Shin, does he have a Baneliness? He does. Okay, Baneliness is done. Does he have any Banelings ready? He has no Baneling speed, and he has his Lings across the map. Ooh, he has no Banelings. He has no Banelings ready back at home. The army has arrived. The charge is done. And this base is going to go down. Yeah, there's no saving this. Baneling speed only just now began. Without Banelings, it's going to be a tough hold. Yeah, it's going to be a very tough defense. And remember, I believe there is no Roach Warren. Yeah, no Roach Warren. So nice kill here from Classic. Snipes the base. Pulls away. Snipes the expansion. Pulls back home. Classic does turn around. Storm is now done, and now he can start pushing again. Let's go to Storm. Prism Harasser at the natural. Shin out of position. He does react. And won't lose too many workers. Okay. Nice defense. Shin is keeping up with the aggression with the Prism. At least trying to. Oh! Oh my god. Prism barely does get away. And I'm still really concerned here for Shin. Shin's army is so fragile. He does have Baneling speed. I don't see any Banelings yet. Without Banelings, he can't really engage. He needs those Banelings to clean up the Zealots and to get on top of the High Soundblood to force out storms. Purely Ling Hydra is just going to get annihilated. Pappy, where are the Banelings? Okay, we have 8 Banelings morphing in, but they're going for a run-by. There we go. Jesus, that's like 22 Banelings morphing in. 8 of them are across the map. So Banelings are coming online. Shin is choosing not to take up into lurkers, so it's purely going to be Ling Bane Hydra. This is again still a very fragile composition. It's very much so a glass cannon from Shin. War Prism got caught out. The Archons, they punish the Banelings. So the way this works here is that the Archons want to be tanking. The Archons, they do tank and they do trade very well against Ling Bane. You want to preserve the Zealots and pull them back so they don't get hit by the Banelings. Once the Banelings go down, then the Zealots can just reign free. Speaking of, Banelings get caught. Storm zones away. Storms are zoning. Nice stasis traps here on the Lings, creating a wall. Another storm with the Ling Bane. Banelings are trying to connect, they're trying to rush on forward. We get some decent connection on the Zealots. But there are so many storms left over. Yeah, High Templar pull away. There's still, what, 3 more storms. SHIN is all in. Yeah, SHIN is committing. He's committing. I say he's all in. He's on 81 drones. True, but he has no hive. SHIN, he has no hive. He has no lurkers. He's purely on a layer tech composition. It's just purely main Hydra. Nothing but Link main Hydra. And SHIN is standing, sorry, Classic is standing his ground. And Bailey's, they crash into Archons. Ah, they do bring down most of the Archons, though. There's 2 Archons left. SHIN regrouping and going for wave 3. And again, it's all or nothing for SHIN. If SHIN fails to break Classic, then SHIN will just lose. Because SHIN will just be outscaled. Speaking of outscaling, Fleet Beacon. Fleet Beacon's on the way. Sky Toss is on the horizon. The longer this game goes on, the better it is for Classic. Ooh, and SHIN, he does turn everything around. Queens are going down. This is buying more time. We can see Classic setting up all the shield batteries and cannons. Again, Classic knows all he has to do is defend. Bailing's just trying to roll in. Once again, the Archons, they tank well. Oof. Yeah, one Bailing does connect, but there's still plenty of storms. And the Hydras are on their own. This is where Zealots can excel. Oh, High Templar there, extend. One Templar goes down. Oh my god. Nice Bailing connections. Where are the Zealots? They went down. SHIN, can he do it? Takes down the High Templar. 0 storms remaining. Get on top of the Immortals as well. And SHIN, can he force that ace match? At the same time, Zealots, they hit the middle line. Drones are going down. Classic, he barely holds on. Classic defends. Classic attacks. 7 drone kills. Oh, and SHIN is forced to re-drone. He's forced to re-drone, forced to resaturate. Fleet Beacon is now done, which means we can work towards the mothership. Yep, there it is. Mothership's on the way. And this is looking rough here for SHIN. As I mentioned, SHIN is all in. Another Zealot run by. SHIN, he turns everything back around. Okay, this was 3 Zealots, by the way. 3 Zealots. Shout out to the War Prism. And this is giving Classic some breathing room to throw down all these stasis traps, more cannons, more shield batteries. Mothership is halfway done. The Zealots, they do hit the base once again. SHIN is getting frustrated. Tries to commit in. Nice stasis. Stasis goes off. The Archons, they shut down the Bailings. Yeah, the Bailings, they do not make it through. Oh god, brutal storm. Yeah, storms are landing on the Hydras, and SHIN, he's gonna lose everything. SHIN, he tries to commit in. GG gets called. The all-in fails, and Classic will take the series 2-0, advancing on into the playoffs. GG. GG, well played. I expected to see hyper aggression out of SHIN. In my mind, it was going to be on a lower drone count on 66, but instead SHIN drone up to 81. 81 drones, 4 base saturation, 4 base all in out of SHIN. And as we were emphasizing, the longer the game went on, the worse it became for SHIN, as the game was not meant to last that long. He was meant to have killed Classic by then, and he was trying his best, but we saw some brutal storms. Again, we saw some really rough connections with the Bailings, as they were often being tanked by the Archons. Really nice unit micro there out of Classic, defending with the bare minimum, making sure those storms did matter, did connect, and also ensuring that the Archons would tank as best they can and protect the High Templar from those Bailings. So very nice control there by Classic. The MVP was the War Prism, the Zealot Harass. The Zealot Harass was achieving so much, killing workers, distracting SHIN, and giving Classic more time as well. GG. GG, well played. And with that, congratulations. Congratulations here to Classic, as it does claim the series 2-0, and Classic will advance on alongside Creator. There it is. There it is. My condolences here to our Zerg and Terran player, as SHIN, he went down to Creator earlier and of course went down to Classic. SHIN is out. Percival also went down to Classic and went down to SHIN in the elimination match. So Percival and SHIN are out of the tournament. Creator and Classic will advance on into the playoffs. Oh boy. GG well played. GG well played. Bearing in mind, there's still Group D. Group D is still yet to go on. It's actually taking place at the moment as we speak. We're going to be casting Group D via replays tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to be catching up on those replays in around 12 hours. In 12 hours time, or really 11 hours time, we're going to be live on this channel with Group D. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. When it comes to our schedule here, bam. This is actually our current week's schedule. We just wrapped up with our evening broadcast of Rongyi Cup. And again, we're going to be live in 11 hours with some more Rongyi Cup action as well. Once again, I do apologize for not casting and not being available as much in January. We already spoke about it last stream, but again, some things have been happening IRL and we just haven't been available. That's why I'm not able to cast Rongyi Cup live. Again, Rongyi Cup Group D is happening right now. Usually I'd be able to cast it live, but I'm not available. I'm unavailable. I have to go spend time and look after my pets, my bunnies. Again, we've had some medical issues, so I have to look after them, have to make sure I'm there for them. So I do apologize for that. So as a result, our casting has been very inconsistent January, and it's probably going to be the case in February as well. It's going to be the case in February. I announced this in the morning, but I'll say this here. We have been the B stream for Home Story Cup for the past couple of years, for like 4 years at this point, but we will not be able to cast Home Story Cup this weekend. Home Story Cup is going to be this weekend, and I'd love to cast it, but we will not be available. We'll be looking after our bunnies. There's going to be an operation basically the day of Home Story Cup, so won't be able to be there, won't be able to cast. So I do apologize. We most likely will be casting Home Story Cup via replays after the fact at a later date, as a heads up. So we'll cast it via replays instead, but we won't be able to cast it live. Just a bit of a PSA. When it comes to the rest of this week's schedule, very quickly, we do have, let's see here, we do have Rongyi Cup. That's going to be, and again, that's going to be in around 11 hours time. We have OSC Rising Star on the 27th. We have Rongyi Cup playoffs on the 27th as well, on the 28th, and on the 29th. So plenty of StarCraft on the horizon. There's a chance that we will not be casting this weekend though. The 30th, 31st, and the 1st of February, we are potentially going to be unavailable, so we'll see. We'll try to fix up our schedule and try to fit everything. Otherwise, I do apologize. And with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Again, this is a massive tournament, $21,000 prize pool, and the group stage is still ongoing. So do take care, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, do give some love to Uwu Thermal. He is live at the moment. Casting some 2v2s. He's running his 2v2 circuits. He's playing in 2v2s. So give him some love, give him some support. Great guy. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. You can also support us via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments. Once again, I do apologize for our events being a little bit inconsistent in January, but coming into March and coming into late Feb, everything should be back on track. Everything should be as it should be. Fingers crossed. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Patreon. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. If you missed out on some of these casts and if you want to watch them live, then check out the VODs. Check out the VODs over on YouTube. !Socials or !YouTube in the chat. Our VODs are uploaded on a daily basis, so plenty of content over on YouTube. Do check it out. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow for Rongyi Cup Group D. See you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. Until next time.